So sorry. Yeah, I got a little disconnected for a moment. Pretty much for the main deck, running three copies of Orcust Harpor. What he does is it banishes himself from the grave to special summon an Orcust monster from your deck. So he's pretty much a good starter for the combos. Also running three copies of Orcust Symbol Skeleton. What this guy does is you banish him from grave, special summon the Orcust monster from your graveyard. Running two copies of Orcust Brass Bombard. What this card does is you banish it, special summon one Orcust monster from your hand. And the other technically Orcust based card for the deck is three copies of World Lexi World 1. What this card does is if it's sent to graveyard, you can special summon one World Lexi monster from your hand. And if this card's in your graveyard, you can banish this card to special summon one banished Orcust to your monster zone. So sorry, camera is a little weird. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for the Orcust based monsters. Other monsters we are running in the deck, and you guys, I don't know, like these cards actually became relevant now. Running three copies of Dark Refer and three copies of Armageddon Knight. For some reason, these cards were originally released in the Phantom Darkness set back in like 20, I want to say like 2007, like 2007, 2008. Yeah, it is 2008. Um, Phantom Darkness cards that weren't really used like when until like Teledad, and the cards haven't really been used since. But now in this format nowadays, like most decks in this current meta are dark based. So these cards have became like relevant to like most hit right now. But they're literally like good cards to pretty much just up your dark monsters. Dark Graphic, you can special summon from hand by discarding a level 5 or higher monster from your hand to special summon him. Or you could normal summon him the regular way. Again, that says if this card summoned, um, dump a dark monster from deck to graveyard. These guys are really good now in this format. Like these guys are like the MVP in most dark decks now that rely on dumping. And the other card we are running in our deck outside of Orcust are three copies of Destiny Hero Malicious. What essentially this card does is you can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon another copy of itself in the deck. Card's really good because it keeps your combos going. That's and other monsters we are running are is one copy of Ancient Cloak and one copy of Silent Boots. Pretty much the engine, the Phantom Knight engine is really small. You only really need one and one. You don't want to draw into these guys. You really want to dump your cloak off your Link 3 Phantom Knight to set your Fog Blade. And you want an Ancient Cloak to search him out to pretty much set up for a topple play on your opponent's turn. And the only hand trap I am running in the deck as of this moment are two copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. It's like I said, it's really still good of a hand trap that pretty much interrupts your opponent from adding certain cards that you don't want them to add to the hand, depending on what card. But yeah, this card's actually still good. That's it for monsters. Onto spells. I'm running three copies of Allure of Darkness. Like I said, the deck is pretty much essentially dark. So pretty much Allure of Darkness is not a neg in this deck whatsoever because you're always going to have a dark monster in hand. One copy of One for One. You do have a level 1 target. Orcust Brass Bombard. You can literally just pitch a monster that you don't want in that hand of yours, and then just some of your vegetable variety to extend combos. And 2 copies of Orcust Return. What this card does is you can discard or send from your field to grave one Orcust monster or War Legacy monster from your hand to graveyard and draw 2 cards. Card's really good. Not good. It's I like 2 because it's a hard once per turn, and it's another card that you can set off Galatea in case you open the field spot. 1 copy of Reinforcements of the Army. Search your warrior, pretty much during Armageddon, I don't correctly. 1 copy of Monster Reborn, essentially to revive monsters. 1 copy of Foolish Burial, to like you want to dump your monsters to grave as soon as possible. That's what Foolish Burial for. 2 copies of Orcust Babel. This card's actually broken in this deck. What this card does is all your Orcust Link monsters on field. Yeah, all Orcust Link monsters on your field and your Orcust monsters in graveyard, which are pretty much your non-link monsters, become quick effects. So pretty much you can activate your Orcust monster effects during your opponent's turn to interrupt certain combos. Card like this field spell literally makes the deck what it is. You could literally just summon a walking torrential tribute with this field spell on field. You could pretty much just interrupt your opponent more ways than one. It's a really good card that don't know Konami why Konami made this card, but it's a really good card. Also running 2 copies of Call by the Grave. Yeah, we don't like hand traps. We don't like my point reviving certain monsters, but especially we do not like hand traps. Also running 3 copies of Twin Twister. Discarding cards from your hand doesn't really matter because you can just discard your monsters and then have them in the grave to activate the effects. Except for Ash Blossom, of course, but it's really good going second and good setup going first. Also running 1 copy of Well Exceed Succession is another Monster Reborn card. It targets 1 monster in grave special into a zone of link monster points. So it's pretty much a Monster Reborn for links, or just link-based Monster Reborn. Alright, that's it for spells. Onto traps. I'm running 2 copies of Feminized Fogblade, essentially your Phoenix Chain, and load the Orcust deck with the combo. If you draw the cards right, you can pretty much set 2 of these to your field, and literally just interrupt your opponent's monster cards. Really good card. And then also running 2 copies of Ghost Match. Like, your deck is a dark deck. Most of your extra deck is dark, and your main deck is dark. The only monster outside of that is Ash Blossom, but you don't ever want to summon that Ash Blossom. Otherwise, the rest of the deck is just plainly dark. That's why this card is really good. That's it for the main deck. I'm going to extra deck. Running 2 copies of Topological Bomber Dragon. He's essentially your walking torrential tribute. What he does is whenever a monster is summoned to a zone, all link monster point to any link monster. Whether it's one that's summoning to a zone he points to, or if you have a long gives you in the middle and then have the opponent summon a link monster here, technically they're summoning a monster to his own any link monster point is any link monster. Not just yours, it could be your other link monster, not just Toppa, your other link monster, or even your opponent's link monster. If they summon any monster to his own any link monster points to, whether it nukes everything in the main monster zone. People don't realize that part of the effect. And that kind of also sometimes what throws people off is the fact that they don't realize I summon a monster, I link summon, and then I summon another monster, like it's pretty much gonna die if it's summoned to any zone, like any link consequences. It's really good. And his other effect is you can, if he attacks. Oh yeah. Other thing is his clause is if it's your turn and his effect activates, you can only attack with him. You can't attack with any other monsters. And his other effect is if this card attacks, your opponent takes damage equal to that monster's original attack. So when you declare attack, whether he stays on field or he dies, the opponent's still taking the damage. Just so that people don't realize what Topper does. It's really good in this deck specifically. Maybe other decks too, but he's really good at Orcust. Running also one copy of Orcustron. I dropped it down to one from the last build because, like I said, I'm doing another variant. Hopefully it can get better. Like I said, I will be tweaking on the extra deck a little bit more. Only because there are cards in here that I do plan on taking out in the near future to put in other ones I really want to put in the extra deck, and then I'll showcase you that profile with that new extra deck update. But like I said, I'll show you how to get the rest of the cards for that extra deck before I can actually showcase you guys the real extra deck thing that I'm going to run in this particular deck. But Orcustron, what he does is you can shuffle in 3 banished machines so that any link monster your opponent controls can attack drops to 0 and their effects become negated. And also, if this card is linked to something, whether it's linked to a monster or a monster is linked to it, he can't be sure battle or card effects. And 3,000, like, it's so good. Of the other monsters we're running is 2 copies of Long Gersu, the Orcust Orchestrator. He can't be destroyed by card effects if he's linked to something, which is why he's so good with Topologic. And what he does is I can shuffle in 2 banished machine monsters and send 1 linked monster my opponent controls to graveyard, non-targeting, non-destructing. It sends it, not destroys. So pretty much is I'm pretty much going to show you the combo that pretty much just says if my opponent tries to summon that strike monster that's threatening, I'm just going to send it off the grave. And it's not even just a link monster on field. It's any monster that's linked. So let's say if my opponent has a link monster on board, and they have a monster and they have a monster to zone 8, and their link monster points to. My bad. If that monster to zone their link monster points to, I could send their link monster, or I can send the monster that they have on the zone that link monster points to. Really good card. Underrated. People underrate this card, but he is really good. And with the field spell, he's pretty much a quick effect. So pretty much you could just like send that problematic card to grave. Also running 1 copy of Topologic Trisbania. Running him because, like I said, during my opponent's turn, I could banish specimen a monster. So let's say my opponent doesn't rely on too many monsters, but they rely on so much back row. I don't have to go for the top of play, but I can go for this play. And during my opponent's turn, to accept back row, I could pretty much banish an Orcust monster from grave, special one from grave. Banish skeleton, summon the Orcust monster from grave. And Trisbania activates to banish that monster that was summoned to Trisbania's zone, and all spells transfer my opponent on the field, and my opponent takes 500 damage for each spell trap that was on the field when banished. He's pretty much just like the multi-cosmic cyclone of the deck. So I want to say heavy storm, but not really, because it doesn't destroy inside the grave. It pretty much just banishes all spells and traps. Really good card, especially against back row heavy decks. I'm also running 1 copy of Summon Sorceress. I don't have to explain this. We all know what she does. We all know why she's good. We all know why we run it. And we all know how good it is. I'm not going to explain this, even though I could, but everyone knows what this card does. I'm running one copy of Phantom Knight Rusty Brocade. It's pretty much part of Peak, the Phantom Knight combo engine. That's pretty much essentially sets up 2 interruption cards on my opponent. And also it's a link 3, so let's see, and I can also revive it off of cards like Fogblade just Fogblade. And I could just next turn XC summon a Break Sword, pop a card, Break Sword. Running 2 copies of Galatea the Orchestrated Automation. What she does is, if she's linked, she cannot be shorted by battle. Which pretty much says I could summon her during my opponent's turn. If they're gonna try attacking the game, spell summon to a zone that my opponent's link monster points to, and she can't be shorted by battle. Really good card, and also she shuffles one Banks Machine to set one Orcust spell trap. So you can set your field spell, you can set your Orchestrated Return. She's really good. One copy of Rewitch Apprentice. Dark. Piles up darks, weakens light. If she's destroyed by the card effect, add a dark. She's just like the dark. The dark of the whole dark deck. She piles up your darks and she recovers your darks. Really good card. In any dark deck. And in fact, I'm saying dark so many times because she's a dark related card. One copy of Nightmare Cerberus. I am also technically running Nightmare Phoenix, but I don't have the Nightmare Phoenix. For some reason I thought I had one and I don't have one. So I'm running Cerberus. Like I said, the extra deck is gonna change. So I'm gonna showcase that extra deck next time. But I'm pretty much doing the extra deck that I have right now for this particular variant. I do plan on getting Phoenix sometime in the future. I do plan on getting Recovering Unicorn in the future. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks. Running one copy of Underclock Taker. It's a dark monster, and it's also good. And it's also that one card that can go to Rusty Brocade. And reduce my opponent's attack, and yeah. One copy of Phantom Knight Breaksword. Dark. Rank 3. We pretty much run Cloak, Boots, Skeleton. And pretty much we just summon that, pop a card for Shade, and then pop another card on the field. So we pretty much just pop 2 cards off of the Shade. Or the Phantom Knight aspect altogether. Just pop 2 cards. And then one copy of Messier Dark Law. Like I said, Orcust, dark deck. You can summon him because your whole deck is dark. There is a card called Max Change 2. Dark. He's dark. He's law. He requires a dark monster. You're good. That's it for extra deck. I'm going to do the side deck real quick. 2 copies of Warlock Sea World Lance. What this card does is it's a hand trap that gives a Link monster I control 3,000 attack, and if it's on the field, if I summon a monster, get a token. 2 copies of Warlock Sea World Crown. I can special summon this card to a zone a Link monster points to in defense. If my opponent activates the extra deck monster effect, I can tribute this card, negate that effect, and destroy it. But if this card was normal summoned, when I tribute it for its effect, I can search a World Legacy card from that game. Alright, 2 copies of Dino Wrestler Pinkertops. He pops things. He special himself. He pops things. And it's a quick effect, so there's no other reason to not to run him. Like, he's a popper, he activates as a quick effect, you special him, you pretty much, if I had a monster, you special him for free. He's a free pop-up card. 2 copies of Mass Change 2. Like I said, Dark Lore, Dark, Dark deck. Dark Lore requires Dark. This card says, discard card, send a monster from field of grave, also a master hero of that attribute with a higher level, Dark. What it is. 2 copies of Herald of the Abyss. Essentially, I run this against first turn Goki Rango. So pretty much Rangomia that says I can't summon things in my opponent goes first. So pretty much this card's out Rango and this card outs Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, also outs Thunder Dragon Titan. 2 copies of Heavy Storm Duster. Pops back row. Do it during my opponent's turn, so I still have battle face. 2 copies of the Dimensional Barrier. And like I said, Invokes are still a thing. Thunder Dragons are a thing. Gokis are a thing. Paleozoics are a thing. I don't know what else. Necros, I guess. Necros. I'm underestimating that. I'm just saying that for no reason. Like, not really many virtual decks. Pretty much anything that's like extra deck. Like a certain specific extra deck. Oh, Fluffles. Fusion. So pretty much Fusion, Synchro, Exceeds, Pendulum, Ritual. I call one of those type. I call one of those extra deck type. Neither player can spell summon monsters of that extra deck type. And once they're already on the field, when it was activated, their effects are negated. And then 1 copy of Golden Edge. Dark. Your whole deck is dark. Your extra deck is dark. So you only control 1 attribute. Dark. Dark. That's all there is. Golden Edge, pretty much since you control only dark attributes, it doesn't affect you. Your opponent has multiple attributes like Altered Guides, Nightmares, Thunder Dragons, because they're light and dark, Invoked, because they have different attributes. Yeah. I'm not going to go more in detail on that one. I probably could, but I killed so much time, plus I had a little minor lag on connection signal. Alright. So now I explained pretty much what made extra side. Like I said, extra deck is prone to change along with the side deck. Alrighty, so now we've gone through that. Sorry, give me a second. Alright, so I am going to showcase you guys a combo that pretty much just says Topo, Torrential Tribute, and Interruption. It's 3 cards technically, 4 cards to ensure, but yeah, I hope your opponent doesn't open the hand trap. Give me 1 second, and I'm just gonna. Alright. So essentially, the 3 cards you really need, but I'm just gonna say the 4 for insurity. 1 second. So technically, you have 3 cards that you need, technically, but I'm going to just say 4, just to ensure. Dark Grepher. Dark Grepher is 1. World One is 2. Harpour is 3. And Call by the Grave 4. I'm just saying Call by the Grave as 4, just to ensure no interruptions. So what you're going to do is you're going to discard this. Special Dark Grapher. Activate Dark Grapher effect, discard this. To put your malicious to grave. What next thing you're gonna do is to banish this. Specimen Skeleton. And you're gonna set out this in hand. Let me just put that right there. Next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna link away these two. Grave and banished. Bear with me. There's some Galtail. Doesn't matter where. Next thing you do, you're gonna activate this guy's effect. Revive this. Doesn't matter where. You're gonna link these two off. Actually, before you link these two off, you're gonna shuffle this back in the deck. You're gonna set and activate your field spell. So your field spell is right there. You're gonna link these two off. Tomb Grave. You're gonna summon Sorceress. To your right mouse is a button. Special summon this girl. You're gonna activate Sorceress effect, target. You're special summon another copy of Skeleton. Reason why? Still part of combo. Next thing you're gonna do is banish your Malicious. Summon another copy of Malicious. This is special summon. You're gonna link off these two. Summon Underclock Taker. Banish your other copy of Malicious. Sure. Just banished so far. Special on your final copy of Malicious. Doesn't matter where. You're gonna link these two away. And bear in mind, you have still one card in hand that you have not used. We're just doing callback areas just in case my opponent has something. But you technically have 5 cards, and one of them you haven't even used yet. Rusty Brochet. To the right. You then you activate his effect. You're gonna dump Cloak. You're gonna set your Fog Blade. Sorry. 1 second. Stronger. You got this. You still got this one card in hand that you have yet to activate. Next, you're gonna banish the Cloak. Add your copy of Silent Boots to hand. You're gonna special summon your Silent Boots. Next thing you can do is link to 3. There's someone won't guess it. Right there. And you still have a decent graveyard. Next you're gonna do is you're gonna banish your silent boots. Adding your last copy of Fog Blade to hand. So you have a Fog Blade set and one in your hand, along with the Call by the Grave, and the one card that you have in your hand that you haven't used yet. Before you continue to go set, the last thing you're gonna do for the play is you're gonna link these two off. Summon your topologic right here in the right monster zone. Because you want to summon them in the right, so you have one Gesso in the middle to interrupt your opponent's extra deck. You have the one card in hand. So you're gonna set this last Fog Blade, doesn't matter where. Let's say you're playing against Invoke, you don't want to occupy more than one column. There we go. And it's called by the grave that's still in your hand that let's say your opponent doesn't have a hand trap. It's still in your hand. Set your call by the grave. And essentially you just pass turn. The moment your opponent tries to summon a monster to the main monster zone, you will have your field spell, you have your skeleton. So you're gonna banish your skeleton the moment your opponent summons a monster, maybe more. That skeleton, summon Long Gearsu. And now, since that happened, Topologic activates. During your opponent's turn, essentially destroy all monsters and main monsters, so this card be the only thing getting destroyed. He can't be controlled by card effects because he's linked to a monster. And pretty much essentially linked means if any monsters in any zone, any link monster points to, whether the link monster is pointing to them, or pretty much any monster that's summoned to any zone link monster points to is considered linked. The difference between linked and co-linked. Linked is any zone link monster points to, and co-linked means the monster, pretty much the arrows are pointing to and from each other. So let's say co-linked, arrow pointing here, arrow pointing back, that's co-linked. Linked pretty much says a zone any link monster points to. So you can't be showing card effects. Your opponent has let's say your opponent has an extra monster that you can summon here. Well, I guess you shuffle 2 man's machine, send the grave. And there you have it. 3-card combo that pretty much gets that board plus 2 interruption traps in the form of 2 Fog Blades. So pretty much you have ways of interrupting your opponent in multiple ways. Alrighty. So, let me just put this back to normal. Give me 1 second. I'm showing this. So pretty much this is everything that you really need. Alright, there you guys have it. That was pretty much 3-card combo that pretty much sets up your Topo Torrento board white with 2 interruption traps and form a double Fog Blade. 3 cards essentially gave me that whole board. I'm gonna give you, before I sign out, I'm gonna suggest you guys who are playing Orcust or want to play Orcust in the near future. I'm gonna tell you right now. If you have Mermaid, save them. Save your 1 copy of Mermaid. It's real cheap. It's real easy to get. And get your 3 copies of Iblis before Savage Strike comes out. I'm recommending it to you guys because pretty much what could be a possible 2 or 3 card combo in a normal Orcust deck in this current format with Soul Fusion. Imagine that type of combo, but with this one card alone. This one card here is essential. In Savage Strike, we're getting a monster called Orchestrated Nightmare. And it's a nightmare monster which you can summon off a mermaid. Unless Konami decides to change his text around, don't know. It's a nightmare monster that you can summon off a mermaid. You could chain manipulate so your opponent doesn't stop your mermaid's effect, especially with Ibla being a thing. And Ibla is pretty much the same board, but just her, nothing else. She pretty much just says, summon Link 1, summon a mermaid, chain Link 1, mermaid, chain Link 2, Ibla. Give your opponent the Ibla, discard a card, summon Orchestrated Nightmare. Link 2, since it's an Orcust monster, summoning Galatea, and then follow up your normal combo routine with that, knowing that Orchestrated Nightmare is a foolish barrier for the deck. So you definitely want to get, before Savage Strike comes out, and I'm telling you guys who want to play this deck, buy next set, your one copy of Mermaid, and your 3 Iblis. You're definitely going to need them for when Orchestrated Nightmare comes out in Savage Strike. Just thought I'd let you guys know that beforehand. And this is me as an Orcust player, like anybody else who wants to play Orcust, especially when it comes to this side. You can still play it decently enough, but with Savage Strike coming out, I was like early January, late January. With the fact that Orcust is still a thing and Orchestrated Nightmare comes out in Savage Strike next year, early next year, you definitely want to get your 3 Iblis. Iblis is right now sitting at like 22, 25. Guarantee you by Savage Strike, if you don't get them as soon as possible, they're going to go up. Because Iblis is the one card combo to the same exact board that you will make normally with Orcust before Nightmare comes out. Like I said, this variant, I feel like I'm gonna test the variant out. I just decided to showcase it to you guys because why not? I've been playing Orcust since it became legal 2 weeks ago in Soul Fusion, and I actually like the deck. Deck's real fun, and pretty much it's like it's basically based on playstyle preference. Like it's a very controlled deck, and you can very much just interrupt the opponent in more ways than one if you have the right hand. I think it's fun. I actually like the deck. I've been playing the deck for a little bit. I do make modifications every now and then, but I still like the deck. It's real fun. Like who wouldn't want to play musical instrument archetype that's all darks and everything you run is dark related, that you can just run a Golden match and say, yeah, like more attributes against my one attribute, and I can very much just say, haha, have fun summoning multiple monsters. Well, alright, that's pretty much my deck profile. I pretty much showcased the combo to pretty much interrupt the opponent and also set back row, and I recommend the card that you guys should get. I really recommend you, please, if you want to play Orcust in the next set, get 3 copies of Ably and get your copy of Mermaid as soon as possible before Savage Strike gets released and Ably decides to ship. Alright guys, Motronic18 signing out. Please like, comment, subscribe. I implore you, please demolish the subscribe, demolish the bell notification button, and demolish the thumbs up sign. I not only do I do Yu-Gi-Oh profiles, I also do video game streaming from time to time, and I'm also starting to do live stream duels between like places I go. If I have the opportunity, I do live stream. I will be showcasing matchups. I will be showcasing more profiles in the upcoming months, and I do stream video games, but especially fighting games that I've been playing the most. But yes. All right, guys. Motronic 18 signing out. You guys have a nice day. Please like, comment, subscribe. All right. Have a nice night, guys.